Now we'd like to tell you the story of probably the grandfather of all modern-day psychoanalysts, the great Dr. Sigmund Freud. Well, it started in Vienna not so many years ago when not enough folks were getting sick. That a starving young physician tried to better his position by discovering what made his patients tick.
This is what I've discovered. There is the self we think we are, the self that attempts to deal with the outside world of reality. This self I call the ego. But ego is never the master of self, for we are constantly bedeviled by powerful unconscious forces in our beings. Before ego developed in us, there was id. Id. Id is all that is primitive and infantile within us. Id is the blind instincts of sexual desire and aggression. Id is opposed by another force that I call superego. Superego is rigid, punishing, and repressive, an inheritance from the repression of our parents and the restrictions that are part of the society we grow up in.
Dr. Freud, Dr. Freud, Dr. Freud, Dr. Freud, how we wish you had been differently employed. But the set of circumstances still enhances the finances of the followers of Dr. Sigmund Freud.
Therefore, Ted's father's own fear of failure has caused him to make his son the embodiment of all of his own deepest anxieties about himself. And hence, his aggression transference onto Ted.
Whoa.
Okay, Ted.
Yes. Thank you very much, Sigmund Freud. Nah, just got a minor Oedipal complex.
He forgot about sclerosis and invented the psychosis and 100 ways that sex could be enjoyed. He adopted as his credo down repression of libido, and that was the start of Dr. Sigmund Freud. Well, Dr. Freud, Dr. Freud, oh, Dr. Freud, Dr. Freud, how we wish you had been differently employed. But the set of circumstances still enhances the finances of the followers of Dr. Sigmund Freud.
Exercise where you have no choice but to be serious. It's called free association.
Oh, yeah?
I'll say a word, and then all you have to do is say the first thing that comes into your head, okay?
Yep.
Dr. Freud, Dr. Freud, Dr. Freud, how we wish you had been differently employed. But the set of circumstances still enhances the finances of the followers of Dr. Sigmund Freud.
He analyzed the dreams of the teens and libertines, substituted monologue for blues. He drew crowds just like Walt Sattler when along came Human Adler, and they said, by God, there's gold in them thar ills. encountered no resistance when they served as Freud's assistants. As with ego and with it, they deftly toyed. But instead of toting bedpans, they wore analytic deadpans. Those ambitious doctors, Adler, Young, and Freud.